Hey guys, Rich here. Today we're taking a look at how you can set up the list locations plugin. And obviously, the first thing you're going to do to get it, you go to plugins, find list locations, install, activate, and then go to the settings page. Now, what this plugin does, it shows locations for your meetings in your service body. And it's pretty simple, it's pretty self explanatory, and it's pretty useful. So, on the settings page, first thing you do, as always, add your root server and then select your service body. You're going to have to add the root server and then save changes, and then the service bodies will populate. And that's your starting point. Now, for now, we'll just leave the default settings, and we have just simple list locations shortcode. That is your default implementation of this plugin. So we're going to save it, and if we open it, it's going to show all of the towns that are served by Suffolk area. Now we can see obviously all of Suffolk area is in New York State, and this doesn't look very good by having the state. So we can just uncheck this box that says show state, and then that's going to give us a nice easy fix for that. Now that looks a lot better, but we might want to add some text around that. All right, so that should make it look a little nicer, and then we can just add it up to the home page when we're done. All right, that looks pretty good. But one more thing that I might want to do is say how many meetings there are. And what's cool is that since we've got Crouton, we could say exactly how many groups are in our area. So now see, I added the group count and meeting count shortcodes, and that's going to automatically show however many active groups and meetings there are in the area. And so now it's going to say Suffolk area serves 48 groups, including 53 meetings, because obviously some groups meet multiple days of the week in the following towns. So that's probably just the way that I would leave it. But as always, you do have a lot of options, and you should always check out these options down here. For example, services. Now, if you want to use multiple service bodies, you can absolutely do that. And the question is, why would you want to add multiple service bodies? Because we're just showing what our area serves, but there might be other uses. For example, our meeting list shows 5 areas. So now we're going to say our meeting list shows meetings from these towns. And if we show that, that's going to be a much larger list, but it's there, and we can do it if we want to. So you can choose different types of lists: town, county, borough, neighborhood. I'm going to leave it as town. And you can choose to skip certain items if you want. So if I said I want to skip Amityville, that's nice and easy because it's at the top. And I'm not sure why exactly you would, but now you can, Amityville is no longer on the list. I'm not sure why you would, but the option is there if you need to. And then, of course, if you don't want to use this for all of your implementations of list locations, you can, of course, use the shortcode. You can see now that I only added that to the second implementation here. So now you're gonna see Amityville on the first list and not on the second list. This also helps because remember, I'm using a bunch of service bodies on the second list and only one in the first list. So if I use the settings page here, I can't filter out meetings on that second list that has service bodies outside of the one default. You could also change the delimiter. Rather than say a comma, you can change it to a line break, which if you want to just make a long list, you could do that too. And that's about it. You're set to go.